call the meeting to order. We will play a short video to explain the procedures for the meeting and to explain how members of the public can participate and interact with the board members.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board. Welcome to the...
Thank you. Okay. So to view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. Okay. You'll be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may also use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address, and you may fill in this field with any entry in an email format. For example, your name at email.com. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found in your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about that particular agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. If you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the Zoom phone number listed at the top of the agenda. Upon dialing the number, you'll be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you'll be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering asterisk or star, and then 9 on your phone's keypad. After entering star or asterisk and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing asterisk or star and then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you have finished speaking, please enter asterisk or star and then 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you'll be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. This information will be provided on the board's website. So again, instructions to attend the State Hawaii Virtual Board Meeting will be found online on the website. So I will now take roll call. So members, when I call your name, please respond present or here and state if you are alone, if you are calling in or joining our meeting virtually, and if there is someone with you. Dr. Craig Nishimoto, licensed member.
Craig Nishimoto, present and alone in the room.
Dr. Lisa Wood, licensed member.
Present and alone.
Eileen Wada, public member.
Present here.
And myself, Marcella Chalk, chair, is also present and alone in the room. I will now call the meeting to order, and the time is 10:09 is what I have. Carrie? Okay, sounds good. So our first agenda item, we have approval of the December 8th public and executive session, the minutes, meeting minutes, and February 7th meeting minutes as well for the public session. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on the September 8th, 2023 or February 7th, 2024 minutes?
Thank you, Chair. This is Johnny. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Okay, thank you. Are there any corrections or amendments to either meetings?
Chair, I thought I had one correction in the discussion on page 9.
Dr. Wood, with 7 minutes.
The February 7th.
Thank you. Page 9.
Page 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 paragraph. The last sentence in that paragraph, she has no problem with docking, but believes that cropping needs to be done by a licensed veterinarian.
Docking, thank you. I see the.
Yes, just switch those two verbs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Docking.
Are there any other corrections or amendments to either one of the minutes?
I move that we accept minutes from general meeting. Let's see. December 8th, executive session, December 8th, and special meeting from February 7th, 2024.
Okay. Is there a second?
Eileen Water, second.
May I
Thank
make
you.
a friendly amendment that we accept the February 7th with the correction noted by Dr. Wood?
Okay, yes, with the correction.
Thank you, Dr. Nishimoto. No, since there's no anyone opposed, okay, since there's no opposition, then I guess both motion has been carried. So we have moving to agenda item number 2, adjudicatory matters, Chapter 91 HRS. So is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on item number 2?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony. Oh, sorry, Chair. We just got a raised hand from Ivy Kim. Hold on.
Thank you, Johnny. Ms. Kim,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Thank
you-
you.
okay. Good morning. My name is Ivy Kim. I'm from RICO at DCCA. I'm here to provide a testimony regarding the item number 2B in the matter of license to practice veterinary medicine of Malcolm Hickman. May I provide the testimony now, or should I wait until board resolve the item number 8?
Jerry, would you like Ms. Kim to provide her testimony now before we go into recess?
It depends. What does she want to discuss for item 2B?
Just want to reiterate, I guess what transpired in this case. In this case, RICO submitted a letter and affidavit to the board's consideration. In this case, the settlement was reached and approved by the board last year, June. And it has been almost 9 months since the board has approved the settlement agreement. And he has paid a fine. However, he hasn't completed that 20-hour CE that was required of him. And I understand that Dr. Hickman claims that there was a computer crash issue, some technical difficulties. But that was also back in November. He made the same, or he gave us the same excuse. And even since that last November, this is March of 2024, and we still haven't received any proof that he completed the required CE hours. And in this case, the board
Okay,
giving,
hold
yes,
on. Ms. Kim,
yes,
before, and you already touched into some of the substance.
oh yes.
I'm trying to find, I know I read it. I apologize. I can't put my fingers on your materials. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, but I'm assuming you gave notice to the licensee, right?
Oh yes, so I
Did
did.
a service and he's not here.
I didn't mail out to him that the affidavit and the exhibits, and also notified him that there will be a hearing on the March 13th, and also gave him the board's schedule for the meeting and the website's address. And it was received, it was sent out in a certified mail. It was delivered on the February 6th.
You have a return of service of February 6th.
We do have a return of the service. It doesn't look like it was not his name, but somebody else picked up the mail. On the return of the receipt for the certified mail, it doesn't say the date of delivery. However, we do have a tracking number. So when I check the tracking number, it does show that the mail was delivered on February 6th.
Okay, and yes, Carrie, by default, I guess we can consider this now before we go into 91, or does?
So Dr. Hickman also was notified by the board that of today's procedures. We gave him the Zoom link and provided him with stating that on the website there was information on how to join via phone
Okay.
by calling the phone number. We did not. We received a letter through RICO dated March 7th after I sent that letter from Dr. Hickman that I had Kai send to everyone yesterday when we received it. And I believe this would be his written comments on this case.
But you know what? All of this is chapter 91, and it's not oral argument as far as I can tell. So can we move over to teams?
Yes, if you're ready for that.
will you be able to, and Ms. Kim, we'll call you in when we're ready to discuss item 2B and you can further elaborate in chapter 91.
Thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Kim, could you please put in the chat box, the phone number we should call you at, please? Do not
Okay.
have that information.
Okay, will do. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
Excuse me, Carrie,
yes,
I think I have Teams set up correctly, but if you don't hear from me in like 5 minutes, can you call me on the phone?
definitely,
I'm
definitely.
trying, I'm really trying. I feel like
You're
this
doing
guy.
well.
I'm
You're doing
84 years old and I'm doing the best I can.
You're doing
Okay.
quite well. So,
That's all we can ask of you. That's all we can ever ask.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys. So we're
No,
going to
thank-
Teams now, right?
we are
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, so the board will now recess to consult with our attorney
Thank you,
on the
Marcella.
issues. And then, so board members, please turn off your camera and mute your microphones in Zoom and join us in Teams. And I'll take roll call from there. Thank you.
Perfect.
I'm gonna go shut the door while all that happens. Did, Ms. Kim, We'll just wait just a moment for Dr. Wood to
Yeah.
rejoin us.
Yeah, that's why I come, because otherwise I would be doing the same thing like here.
Harry, would we need to move Miss Ivy Kim back into panelist, or do we keep her in attendee?
We'll move her back in to let her know the board's decision, but I'm waiting for Dr. Wood to join us.
Thank you.
Over there, but I thought I seen her here.
Is she still in Zoom?
I see her as a guest on Zoom. Let me unlike it.
Yeah, unlike it and tell her that we're waiting for her in Teams.
Dr. Wood? Her mic's turned off.
Okay.
I thought I seen her in Teams. But it's not.
I'm gonna text her and tell her that we're still waiting for her. She was just maybe having trouble connecting. Mia, could you put up the technical difficulties slide while we try to get Dr. Wood reconnected?
Okay, give me 1 second.
Thank you. She says she can see and hear us. Would you scroll down, see the little arrow after Mia? She says she can see and hear us.
Because usually it's easy to get, I mean, even I can get on Zoom, it's
Mhm.
getting into Teams that kind of gets me going. So she could be stuck.
Yeah, she says she can see and hear us, but I don't see her.
Can she exit out and then come back in? Because I don't see her in a Zoom at all.
Yeah, I don't see her either. Okay.
That's good.
There she is.
Okay. Yeah, I see her.
Yeah, I see
But-
her. Does she
But I
leave
don't
again?
see her. On the
Okay,
do,
there she
do
is.
the arrow up there by Johnny.
Okay.
Okay, there she is. Okay. Okay, Mia, thank you. You can take the technical difficulties down. And Dr. Wood, could you turn on your camera and your
I don't see a camera icon next to her, so I don't know if her camera's working.
yeah, I don't see it either. Dr. Wood, can you click on your little camera icon so we can see you? I think your camera's not on at the moment.
I think she's also mute.
It doesn't look like.
Hello? Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, she's gonna try another device.
Hmm. I think it can get tricky if you're doing both of the applications on the same device. That might be what making it a little challenging.
Amy, you better put up that technical difficulty slide one more time. Hello? Yes. No. Okay. So can you log out of Teams? Okay, you're totally out of Teams? Okay, and now, we're still seeing your, so you can see and hear us, but we can't see or hear you. Okay. On your, computer that you're on Zoom, is your little, microphone showing that it's on? Oh, the computer you're on doesn't have a microphone? Oh, well, how were you on before? What were you on? Oh, you were on your phone. Oh. Okay, because we need to get you on the Zoom. That's the important one. We can phone in on the Teams, but the Zoom we need to see you. No, it's okay. It's all good. So the one that we're showing now, that's on the old device with no camera, no phone, or no microphone. Okay, so whatever you did previously to be on Zoom, that's what we need to happen at this point. Are you still there?
She has to go back to the original computer or iPad, right?
Mm-hmm. So she's off of Zoom. She's not on Teams. Use the arrow to see if she's trying to sign on. One of them by Dr. Nishimura. Could you click the arrow? See if she's trying to. I think we need to delete that Lisa word because there's no. Can we take that off? Is there a way for us to take that off? No, don't remove Dr. Nishimura.
Yeah, we can hear everything you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, remove that one. Try to log back on.
There she is. I don't know. Oh, there she's connecting.
Welcome, Dr. Wood.
Microphone.
You are muted, but that's okay right now. So Johnny, could you please let Miss Kim, Ivy Kim, into the meeting so we can report back to her?
Okay.
Thank you.
And then Carrie, I would say that for item 2A and C that we've accepted, right? To move those two forward, right? As
No,
well.
it's recess. You don't have to say anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Welcome back to the meeting, Ms. Kim. We apologize for our technical difficulties there. The board did discuss the petition. Dr. Chalk, did you want to let Ms. Kim know our decision, or would you like me to?
Oh, yeah, sure, if you don't mind. Thank you, Carrie.
Not a problem. So the board is currently going to provide Dr. Hickman an additional 30 days, explaining to him alternative ways he can get the information that we believe he has, that he just doesn't know how to get to us. So we're going to provide him with some instructions on how to contact the CE provider without using his computer and get those CEs to us. We're going to provide him 30 days to do that.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate you attending. Johnny, you can put Ms. Kim back as an attendee, please.
What happened to mom?
Oh, we lost Miss. Where'd Marcella go? Oh.
Can you guys see me and hear me now?
Yeah, what happened? That was weird.
I actually got kicked out.
I wonder if
I
that's what
got-
happened too.
Yeah, I think they accidentally clicked me back to be an attendee and then they brought me back as a panelist. So sorry.
Okay. Dr. Wood, we've lost your camera. I know she has difficulty with the internet over there.
That's okay. The most important thing is audio if she wants to say something. And at this point, I don't know if she needs to say anything, so maybe we can go through the agenda, and if she needs to say anything and her audio is not working, for her to raise her hand or somehow let us know.
Okay.
Dr. Wood, can you hear us at all?
So I have the computer on and I'm on my phone.
Okay, but
So I can see you on my computer and I can hear you on my phone.
okay.
Good. We can hear you.
Okay. All right. I guess we move forward, Dr. Chalk.
Okay. So moving down to our agenda item number 3 regarding applications. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda item 3?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Thank you. So in regards to the ratification list, do we have a motion to accept the licensees as far as the ratification list?
This is Craig Nishimoto. I make a motion to accept the ratification of issued licenses on 3A.
We have a second motion. Second.
I
Ivy.
said,
Thank you. Any opposed? Since there's no opposition, motion carried. Moving to item number 4, examinations. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda item 4?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Thank you, Johnny. Carrie,
Yes,
would you
thank
like
you.
to provide any exam results and information?
So, last time we met, I did not have the correct numbers for October 2023, so I'll give you those correct numbers now. Candidates tested 12, passed 9, failed 3. December 2023, candidates tested 11, passed 7, failed 4. January 2024, candidates tested 6, passed 5, failed 1. And February 2024, candidates tested 5, passed 3, failed 2. Just a quick recap of 2023. PSI began to administer our examination on January 20th. The last in-house exam that we did here, paper and pencil, was in March. In 2023, we tested 96 individuals. Some of those, of course, were retest, but 96 individuals, and the pass rate was 66.67%. Any questions on the test results from 2023 and first 2 months of 2024?
I have a couple questions. First, in the past, it seemed like pass rates were higher. Do you know if the questions have changed in difficulty, or we were almost very high in the past?
As I understand, when PSI began to administer our test, it was the same questions that we had. They did not add any questions. They just took our questions, but they were not in order anymore. The questions are randomly assigned via computer. I think more than the difficulty of the question is the rapidity of being able to take the test. It used to be that we had the test once a month here on Oahu. And usually if you were approved for exam, you had to wait a month or 2. Usually at least 2 months, sometimes 3 or 4 before you could get a test date. So you had plenty of opportunity to study the resource material. With PSI, you can be approved today and sign up for the test tomorrow, for the test the next day, if there's an opening where you live, or if you're going to have it proctored in your home. It's a very quick turnaround from approval for exam and when you actually take the exam. I believe that the higher fail rate is due to people not allowing themselves time to study. These are all very intelligent people. They've passed the national exam. A lot of them are they've been practicing forever. They know their stuff. They don't know Hawaii specific stuff, and they think they can just come and take the test without brushing up. I think that's why the test rate, pass-fail rate changed so dramatically.
Okay. Second question. Earlier, I think it was January, you were looking for veterinary members to review tests. Did you go ahead and do that?
Yes, that actually
Okay.
leads to item 4B. I can go ahead
Okay.
with that. So the subject matter experts did meet in January. They looked over the existing questions. They actually determined to eliminate two test contents because they're not Hawaii specific. It's really much more nationwide now. And since our test is geared for Hawaii specific information, they removed those items. And then they developed new questions. If you look at the documentation forwarded to you, there's the Hawaii State examination effective through April 16, 2024. That's the old exam content. 10% on quarantine standards, 30% diagnostics and treatment, 40% toxicology and poisoning, and 20% poisonous plants. And you can see there's almost a page and a half of references. The next document is the Hawaii Veterinary State Exam effective April 17, 2024. This would be the new questions that were developed. It's still 40 questions. It's still 60 minutes. The passing score is still a minimum of 75%, but you can see the content has changed significantly. Quarantine standards are still 10%. Toxicology and poisoning is 60%, and infectious diseases is 30%. And you can also see that the number of references has been reduced almost by half, not quite half, but almost by half of the references people should look up to find the information they need to pass the test. So the SMEs worked very diligently. They met over 3 days and reviewed the existing questions. Some of them they kept, some of them they revised, and they also developed new questions that were not on the old test. And the new test goes into effect April 17 of this year.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. That's all on item 4, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving to item number 5, correspondence. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda number 5?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Thank you, Johnny. Okay, so Carrie, do you want to share with us as far as item number 5A, email
Yes.
from Janai Myers?
Yes, thank you. So we've gotten several emails asking for what can veterinary technicians do. Also, the first one is from, I'm looking at the wrong email, sorry. The first one is from Janai Myers with United Spray Alliance. She would like to know, are veterinary technicians allowed by law to perform spay-neuter surgeries? And if so, under what conditions, direct or indirect supervision? She'd also like to know, are veterinary technicians allowed to administer rabies vaccines? And are veterinary technicians allowed to administer other vaccines? So the first part of that is, are veterinary technicians allowed by law to spay or neuter, to perform spay-neuter surgeries? And I sent you on Tuesday, Wednesday, today's Wednesday, Monday or Tuesday, I think Monday, the statutory information on what veterinary technicians are allowed to do.
Right.
I did not print a copy for myself. So I don't, vets on board, do you think that veterinary tech should be allowed to do surgery? And if so, under what conditions?
I think in general, the answer would be no, but I think the way our statutes are written, under the supervision of the doctor, I think they can do more. Let me see.
I'm sorry, Marcella, this is Sherry. I stepped out for a little bit. What happened?
I guess we're on 5A regarding the the correspondence. So
Oh, okay. We're still on 5A, okay.
yeah. And Dr. Nishimura made the comment that he believes that it's the technicians will work under supervision of veterinarian. Is that right, Dr. Nishimoto?
Yeah, I was just looking up in the statutes, but
Statute,
I don't
yeah.
think it actually says so. But basically, the answer is no, they're not.
Well, are veterinary technicians trained in school to do surgery?
No, they're not.
Well, okay.
So I would say the answer is no, is in my interpretation. As
Dr.
far as the rabies, though, that I don't know if we have that spelled out. Dr. Wood, do you know federal wise if it has to be administered by a veterinarian?
Dr. Wood's on mute.
You're muted, Dr. Wood. Could you ask her to unmute? No. Go to participants. Dr. Wood, and ask her to unmute. Oh, she's got her hand raised. Can you hear us now, Dr. Wood?
Yeah, I'm quite sure as far as the statutes go in Hawaii, rabies vaccine isn't itemized as a veterinarian only procedure.
Mia, could you please put up technical difficulties, and Kai, would you mute us, and I'm gonna ask you to do something. Allowed to. Say allowed to talk. Can you hear us, Dr. Wood?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. Okay, Mia, you can take down the slide, please. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Dr. Wood, sorry about that. Did you have something to say about the spay neuter?
The spay and neuter, as far as I know, they're not technically allowed by law. We routinely do have our technicians do cat neuters under fairly direct supervision. But I agree with Dr. Nishimoto. I don't believe it's actually stated in law that we can do that.
I think there was also the question about rabies vaccines. Our technicians,
I don't believe it's spelled out 100% in other states. It is, my understanding is that it is required by law that a veterinarian do it. But we again routinely have our technicians administer rabies and other vaccinations.
You're muted, Dr. Nishimoto.
I agree with Dr. Wood's comments that in Hawaii, veterinary technicians are not restricted from giving the vaccine. At least it's not spelled out that way. And we are not directed to be veterinarian only administered.
So I'm trying to think of how to word the response to be that there's no laws restricting that state that only veterinarians can administer rabies or other vaccinations. Would that be
Yes, that's correct. And for part one, I would say how would you word that, Doctor? Would like there's no law restricting sterilization surgeries for veterinary technicians. Well, I don't know how we should say that. There's this.
Dr. Wood, you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. It does need to be done under supervision, right, Craig?
Yes. Direct supervision.
Okay.
I guess not just spay and neuter, just procedures.
I agree.
Okay,
Veterinary technicians are allowed to perform procedures, or I guess we should keep it narrow, sterilization procedures under the direct supervision of veterinarian. I don't know too many technicians that spay dogs
Right.
or cats, but I suppose they could be trained.
This is Sherry. And I think I heard Dr. Nishimoto start off by saying, when you look at the 472 chapter, it does not specify or specifically allow vet techs to do this. And I think that is accurate. And then I also heard that in practice, you are aware that vet techs do perform under direct supervision. Would that be accurate?
For me, yes.
So the first part where you reference 472, because her question is, are allowed by law. And so you're looking at 472 and 472 doesn't allow it.
So here's the issue with 472. It's written very broadly.
Right.
472 says the practice of veterinary technology includes, but is not limited to.
So what if we just
And then it lists a
plug
couple
them
of
to that and recite it? Why don't you quote that in the answer to her?
Well, I'm just saying that you're saying that 472 says they can't do it, but that's not what 472 says.
I appreciate your clarification. So
Okay.
you can say 472-1 does not specifically reference or allow spay neuter surgeries. And then you can say, but this is what it does say, which kind of leaves the door open, and it includes, but it's not limited to, but it does not specifically allow. And that's the question. So they can read the definition as well as we can. And then you can end with, in practice, you are aware that vet techs under direct supervision do such a practice. Is that accurate? Is that
Or-
reasonable?
Are you okay with that being the response?
I would say for cat neuters, I wouldn't go beyond that. That
I
we
agree.
are familiar with some clinics allowing technicians to do vet under direct supervision.
Specify cats.
Cat neuter.
Cats. Yes.
Okay. Is that cat neuters or cat spay and neuter?
Cat
Cat
neuters.
neuter.
Neuter. Thank you. You gotta be really clear with me.
No, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Okay, so if I understand my directions on my response is pursuant to the first question, 471-2 does not specifically allow veterinary technicians to perform spay or neuters. However, in practice, cat neutering is performed under direct supervision of a licensed veterinarian. Pursuant to question 2, rabies and other vaccines. Let me see. There's no law that states that only vets may administer rabies or other vaccinations.
Correct.
Okay. If I can get that in a vote, I'll be happy.
So could we get a motion to what Carrie just said, a motion to accept that?
Yeah, I move that we accept what Carrie stated regarding veterinary technicians performing in Hawaii under direct supervision cat neuters, and that there are no laws determining who can give rabies vaccine, rabies and other vaccines in the state of Hawaii.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any opposed, any opposed? Okay, since no opposed, motion move forward.
Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, item B is another question on what veterinary technicians can do. It's from Lauren Kagawa with Starn, O'Toole, Marcus, and Fisher. They would like to know, may a veterinary technician under the direct supervision of a licensed veterinarian perform surgical closures, dental extractions, dental sutures, and feline neuters? I think we've already responded to item 4 with our answer to question A, but what do you feel with surgical closures, dental extractions, and dental sutures?
In my experience, I would not include dental extractions.
I'm trying to find what other statute would outline what veterinarians' duties are. I have 471, but is there another?
Oh, under the practice, it's under definitions, the practice of veterinary medicine.
Okay.
It's 471(1). The practice of veterinary medicine means the assessment, diagnosis, treatment, or prescribing for the prevention, cure, or relief, or the giving of advice concerning a disease, pain, injury, deformity, or other condition of an animal, or a change of physical characteristic of an animal for cosmetic or utility purposes. Practice of veterinary medicine includes medical, surgical, and dental care of animals.
Does it say anything about people working under them?
I think for that you would have to go to 471 2 471(2)(3) subsection 3. Any student enrolled in any veterinary, this is people who don't need a license. Any student enrolled in any veterinary school or college, or any employee of a veterinarian from working under the direct supervision of the veterinarian.
Okay.
That 471 is part of that bill that's being
Right.
evaluated, right?
Right.
So in 471(2)(3), when they're mentioning an employee of a veterinarian under direct supervision, doesn't that allow them, that employee, to basically practice veterinary medicine?
I don't know that it means they can practice veterinary medicine. It means they don't need a license to do whatever veterinarian is having them do, right?
Which, like, if we said you should go ahead and spay this cat, if the veterinarian takes on that liability, doesn't that, the way it's written, allow that?
That's one interpretation, yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously the veterinarian has a lot of responsibility on what they are going to allow their employees to do, because they're ultimately responsible, right?
Right.
So Dr. Wood has already said that in her opinion, dental extractions is not something that a tech or another employee should be doing. The veterinarian should be doing dental extractions.
That's one of the procedures that we don't have our technicians do. As far as the other questions, they do surgical closures, dental sutures, and feline neuters. The question is, may a tech under the direct supervision do those things? And based on 472, under the direct supervision, an employee may perform those tasks, is the way I interpret it. I don't know if Sherry is there to guide us or not.
I'm here.
Is that how you would interpret it, Sherry?
I'm here. Can you say that one more time?
So the question is, may a vet tech under the direct supervision of a licensed vet perform X, Y, and Z? And according to 472 2-3, an employee can, under the direct supervision, perform.
Well, I think I heard Carrie say that they would not need a license, but they could do X, Y, Z under the direct supervision.
That's the way I understand it.
I would agree.
Okay. Yeah, the Hawaii laws are very vague and leave it open for the supervising veterinarian to decide what the employee can do.
Yeah.
So I guess we can reference that line there, Carrie. What do you think? Or different procedures?
Well, I think I think it would be very similar to our response to the first question that
Yeah, it's not.
the law doesn't state that they can, they doesn't specifically allow these procedures, but
Right.
in general, surgical closures, dental sutures, and feline neuters under direct supervision are performed, but dental extractions are not.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I might even suggest that you simply say that those procedures under the direct I guess they are asking specifically those things, so I guess that probably is appropriate. I was thinking that maybe we didn't even need to specify and just simply refer them to the statute.
Well, this is Sherry, and like how we did in the first inquiry, you can quote the statute, you can say it doesn't specifically allow, and then you can end with the board is aware that surgical closures, dental sutures, and feline neuters are performed by vet techs, but not dental extractions.
Okay.
In my experience, Craig, do you let your techs do those?
I mean, I guess teeth that are already falling out, those, but true extractions, no.
Same.
So, and when you start, and when you caveat it with, by saying the board is aware, it's not, definitive. It's
Right.
just, you're aware of.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I can certainly word that similarly to how I worded, question.
Okay.
Question, 5A, but I do need the vote.
I move that we reply to correspondence 5B saying that there is no statute for veterinary technicians allowing those procedures, but surgical closures, dental sutures, and feline neuters have been known to be performed by veterinary technicians under direct supervision.
I second.
Any opposed? No opposition, motion carried forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And my last one on vet techs, actually, this is a veterinary assistant, from Dr. Barros. Can a veterinary assistant, not a registered veterinary technician, administer anesthetic induction agents under his direct watch?
I would recommend referring them to that statement of the 471-2, number 3.
I agree.
He can decide what he wants his people to do.
Do we
We
have a
just don't have
motion?
anything. Because some states like California, every single procedure is spelled out what they can and cannot do, but in Hawaii, it's not at all. So
Do you want to make a motion then, Dr. Nishimoto? Is Carrie okay?
I'm okay, I've got it.
you
I
got
just-
it. Okay.
I just need a motion.
Oh. It's Craig Nishimoto. I would like to move that regarding correspondence 5D. No, 5C.
See. Mhm.
That we would refer him to item 471-2-3 in regards to what duties his veterinary assistant is able to perform under his direct supervision.
Did I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any opposed? No opposition, motion moved forward, carried forward.
Thank you. Okay, so the next two have to do with consultation. The first email is from Dr. Carrie Collins. She works with a Kennebec River Biosciences. She is licensed in another state. She will be, she hopes to come to Hawaii to work with a fish hatchery to diagnose what is making the fish sick and to develop a vaccine. So she's not going to be practicing, setting up a shop here. She's coming in to work with the hatchery, develop the vaccine for them, and then leave when she's done. She's interested to know if she needs a license because she'll be practicing by diagnosing the disease, or if this would be considered consultation because she'll be working with Hawaii veterinarians to develop this vaccination.
I would say as long as she's working with a licensed Hawaii veterinarian, I would be comfortable accepting the consultation exemption in her case.
I would agree.
Okay, so in this particular instance, Dr. Collins does not require a license to consult with the Hawaii veterinary licensed veterinarians to develop this vaccine.
Right. I would want to
Correct.
make sure she is working with a Hawaii veterinarian. She quoted several, I think she quoted the companies that she was going to be working with. I didn't see the specific name of the vet who she would be working under. So I just want to make sure that that portion is specified. It sounds like she has a very unique skill set that could be of benefit to our aquaculture here.
Okay. So a letter perhaps stating the do you want a letter from the veterinarian she is consulting with, or a letter from her saying she is going to consult with these veterinarians?
I think a letter from the veterinarian she is consulting with to
Okay,
confirm the relationship.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
okay. Okay, and I will no 471.25 for that. Okay, someone want to say that's my motion?
I move that we accept the out-of-state veterinarian's request to work with a licensed Hawaii veterinarian in support of aquaculture vaccine development. And we request a letter from the consulting veterinarian confirming the relationship.
Okay,
We have a second.
A second.
Any
Right, Nisha?
opposed? Sorry. No opposition, will motion carried forward.
thank you very much. The second one is a similar question, a little bit different though. This is from Dr. Erica Sox over at VERC. They have one of their licensed vets is going to be doing a procedure. She has only practiced on cadaver dogs and would like to bring in someone to they say support, but someone to consult with her to let her know if she's, kind of give her that support she feels she needs. The question is, does the veterinarian coming in to assist their licensed vet need a license, or would they fall under the consultation exemption as well?
I move that we allow the consulting veterinarian to work along with the licensed Hawaii veterinarian in support of patient.
Okay, and a letter from the consultant, the licensed veterinarian as well?
Yes. With a letter verifying that relationship.
I second.
Any opposed? Okay. No opposition, motion carried forward.
Thank you.
If the
Okay, where am I at? Okay, and then item F from the ICVA, that is for informational purposes only. The International Council for Veterinary Assessment is seeking board members. They have a letter there letting you know what they're looking for and the criteria for their board members, and a nominating form if anybody wants to nominate their friends or enemies to the board. That concludes item 5, Chair.
Okay, thank you. So moving to item number 6, legislative measures. Is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda item number 6?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Thank you, Johnny. Okay, Carrie, would you like to start and review the legislative items, please?
I'm up again, huh? Okay. Okay, so our first bill that is up is Senate Bill 2562. It's SD Draft 3. It's been through several readings. It has crossed over to the House. I feel like I'm missing a sheet of paper. Oh, there it is. This is the bill that prohibits individuals without a valid, unrevoked license obtained by the Hawaii Board of Veterinarian Medicine or operating under the direct supervision of the same from performing any surgical procedure on any pet animal. It makes this a, I lost my spot. A Class C felony. It makes cropping and docking offenses of cruelty to animal in the first degree. They've dated it effective 4/14/21/12. It passed first measure, it passed second measure, and it is crossed over to the House for consideration. This is the one where you wanted me to ask them to remove tail docking or to move it to a only for adult dogs if they left it on there. I did include that in my testimonies when I spoke to the legislature. This is this one. They have. I know that there's been movement on the Class C felony so that it is no longer specifically for the owner. It doesn't look that way in this draft, but I've seen it changed in testimony that I believe they'll go for. So I'll probably be asked to do testimony again since it has crossed over. I still have your comments from earlier. I believe that we also wanted to ask them to put in specific language stating that this would not affect ranchers or farmers in the normal course of their duties. The procedures that they perform without a license. Is there any other direction the board would like me to be aware of moving forward on this bill? Or are you satisfied that I have my marching orders?
I am satisfied with what we have. It's doubtful that they're going to make too many more changes to it. The Senate bill does clarify that it's on pet animals. I guess I have to go back and look again. When it says it makes cropping and docking offenses of cruelty to animals in the first degree, this is for people who violate this statute, right? Not for veterinarians.
Correct. It is. This is for individuals without a license.
Okay.
And again, we're. I know there is movement to make it clear that this does not affect the normal operation of animal husbandry practices.
And it would take effect in the year 2112, which is 88 years from now.
Right, and generally what happens when they push the date so far out, it's to give people an opportunity to discuss and refine the bill. And then if they get, if there's consensus, they'll move that date to a more reasonable date. But they want to give people an opportunity to work out their differences.
I'm comfortable with that. Thank you, Carrie.
So Carrie,
Yes,
so
sir.
it was changed. Initially, it was for owners being exempt, right? For some of these.
Well, owners were exempt from anything in our
Oh,
original.
okay.
An owner can do, they're exempt from licensure for their own pets.
Okay.
And so this is trying to limit what an owner can do without.
Okay.
without a license.
Right.
So unfortunately for the comments Dr. Lisa made at our previous meeting, a responsible breeder docking a 2-day-old pup would
Criminal.
fall under criminal. Yeah, that's how this one is reading.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
As it's
pretty-
moving forward, because they haven't, you know, I've done the testimony that the board believes that this isn't an issue in neonatal puppies, but apparently the
Right.
the legislature hasn't decided to accept that testimony and include it in the bill.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the next one is House Bill 1527 HD1. This is the companion bill to the other one. It was a little bit different. The way it was worded, it's prohibits animal owners and their employees from performing any surgical procedure on the owner's animal or animals, provides that a violation of the prohibition is a Class C felony, clarifies that the offense of cruelty to animals in the first degree does not apply to accepted veterinary practices when the practices are performed by a licensed veterinarian. It passed its first reading on January 17. It was referred, passed its second reading February 29, passed third reading March 5, and is now crossed over to the Senate. So the Senate will be looking at this one now. This one, they've moved out the effective date to July 1, 3000. They're really giving us a lot of time to come to some consensus on this one. This is the one that they, I think this is the one where the criminal penalties have been definitely moved away from the pet owner. And so it's, this one specifically discusses pet animals as opposed to just animals in general. And it does make sure that veterinarians can still do the procedures. So again, I have the board's opinion on all of this. This one also still includes tail docking. So I mean, I'll keep doing your testimony that you don't believe it's an issue in neonatal puppies, but I don't know that they're believing me or they care.
No.
But I'll keep saying it every chance I get. Any further direction you have for me as this moves through the legislature, or are you okay with where we're at?
I'm good.
I think we're good.
Okay. Moving right along to C. This bill is effectively dead. This is SB 3262. We were providing comment on this bill. It would rename the John A. Burns School of Medicine Special Fund as the Physician and Veterinarian Special Fund. Goes into a lot of stuff. This is the one we were concerned about, that it wanted us to do a lot of stuff outside our wheelhouse and create a scholarship and distribute funds, and it has not moved. I don't believe this is going to move forward. I think that John Burns provided the legislature with some really good information, and it's just not moving forward. So I still have the comments prepared, should have come before anything, but at this point it's more than likely dead. D, E, and F were all bills we were tracking from last legislative session, 2023. They're all effective date 6/30/3000. The HB 1512 was limiting civil liability to Good Samaritans who render emergency non-medical care and emergency non-medical assistance during an emergency. There's been no movement. HB 220 would establish a spay and neuter special fund. There's been no movement. And SB 998 would also create a spay and neuter fund, and there's been no movement. So that concludes our legislative update for this month.
Thanks, Carrie. Okay. So moving on to agenda item number 7 regarding the 2024 meeting dates. I guess, is there anyone who would like to provide testimony on agenda item 7?
Thank you, Chair. We do not have anyone requesting to provide testimony.
Thank you, Johnny. Carrie, would you like to any
Yeah,
discussion?
so we had already decided on our meeting dates for this year, but Kavehi, our secretary, took another opportunity and is no longer with us. And so her duties were assigned temporarily to our new secretary, Kai, who's doing a fantastic job. However, our meeting dates conflict with board meetings she already had. So I'm hoping we can adjust our meeting schedule a little bit so that our secretary is not overburdened and can get all this paperwork together for us in a good way and attend our meetings. So we were scheduled for June 11. I have suggested we meet either June 5 or June 19. I know that Dr. Nishimoto is not available on June 5, so would June 19 be a good date for everyone this summer? Like I have one yes, I have 2 yeses,
I think it'll be fine.
3 yeses. Dr. Nishimoto, June 19 good? Okay, so we're gonna do June 19. Thank you very much. For September, we're looking at either September 4 or September 18. Any of those dates work best for anybody?
As I said, I'll be back, but
Okay, you'll be back, you won't be here on the 4th, right?
yeah, I'm gonna have to do Zoom.
Okay, so the 18th works best for Eileen. Is the 18th good for everyone else?
Yep,
Good for
it's
me.
good.
I see head shaking. Dr. Wood, yeah, okay, great. We'll do September 18 then. And then I had recommended either December 4 or December 18. We have had a request for December 18 and have another potluck. So is everyone available on the 18th? Holiday potluck?
I don't think I can make the 18th.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
it's okay. So December, we can do an early potluck. We can do a potluck.
How's the 11th?
The 11th is the day that was scheduled.
Oh, okay.
It's the one that's conflicting with our secretary. So is December 4 okay with everyone?
Oh, I won't be here.
But you could join via Zoom.
Yeah.
But no potluck.
But no potluck.
Can we make it another day, like the 17th or something?
I can, we can tentatively schedule the 17th. That's
Or
that
the
Tuesday, right?
19th or something like that, right?
We can
Or even-
tentatively schedule, but I'll have to look and make sure there's no other conflicts. I didn't look on those days. I don't believe there are. December's kind of a lean month. But which date would you all prefer?
I guess,
Seven-
Dr. Wood, is that week of the 18th, is
Is
it
it
the
the
entire
whole
week
week?
that's challenging?
It's a tight week that week.
Yeah, what
The
about
week, the week before would be okay.
on the 12th or? even
Is there a, other than the 11th, is there a good date that week?
Well,
The 12th might be okay.
or the Friday the 13th. Or
We can make it a Good Friday, the 13th.
Oh, that's Good Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday the 13th. Are you
Okay,
around?
so what I'll do is I'll put the 13th down tentatively. I will double check when I get back in the office to make sure that there's no conflicts, and if there's no conflicts, it will be the 13th. If there is a conflict, we'll come back at our June meeting and look at other dates.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I've got June 19 is our next meeting. And then we'll do September 18. December is the 13th unless you hear otherwise.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you.
Okay. So as Carrie mentioned, then our next meeting will be on Wednesday, June 19, 2024. So there being no other further business, then the meeting is adjourned at, I have 12:05 p.m.
Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
all of your
you.
participation.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks a
Carrie.
lot, everyone.
Thank you.
Bella.
So
Thank you.
sorry for my difficulties.
No
Down
problem.
well. Well, no worries.
Aloha.
It's good seeing
Yeah,
you on camera.
bye.
Still out in 2 hours. It's a good meeting.
That's good.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.